People are strange. There's a lot of strange people in this world.
People are people too, by the way.
People are people.
That is true.
I have not seen all good people. I cannot say I've not seen all good people.
Great list, and there's a few I agree with. There were a number of good songs that did not make my list. Of course, we could say that every single day, but I thought this category ended up being a lot better than I first thought when I came up with using this category. Really strong, and People Are Strange, as much as I love that, and it was on my list to pick from, it did not make my 5. So here are my 5.
Did the Buggles have a song?
The Buggles did not. They're a one-hit wonder, my friend. Number 5.
Boy Meets Girl must have.
Number 5, Every Kind of People by the late, great Robert Palmer. Number 4, Games People Play by the Spinners. Number 3, same with you, Shiny Happy People, REM. Number 2, same as you, Everyday People, Sly and the Family Stone. And here's my number 1.
I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way. I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way.
Why does the music sound like it's a mile away?
It does, doesn't it? I thought it was my earphones.
Take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your life. Make the White Queen run so fast, she hasn't got time to make you.
It is, of course, I've Seen All Good People by Yes, which was on your list, but not number 1.
Because he didn't agree with it. He has not seen all good
I have
people.
not seen all good people.
Well,
Which is fair, very fair.
3 of the 5 we agreed upon on our lists. Anderson's voice is unbelievable, and Steve Howe on the little guitar that he plays. Man, oh man, he's good. So yeah, I've Seen All Good People. My number 1.
This
Gabe?
was way too hard for me. You guys, this was a tough category for a young buck like myself. I really can't lie to you.
Is A$AP Rocky not singing
The
about people?
A$AP Rocky does not talk about people.
He's
we don't
not
have a
singing
lot. I
about
mean,
people. What's up
new
with
age
A$AP
songs.
Rocky?
There's not a lot of new songs with people or person
There's
in
really,
the title.
There's not very many songs with person in the title at all.
But anyway, this was a huge struggle for me. I had to go and educate myself on music. My top 3 were sort of understood, but at 5 I have Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone. I had to educate myself. That was a
Great
nice little
song.
throwback.
See, that's good education for you, though. That's education.
This is what it's for. It was just for me. This category was for me. 4, People Are Strange, The Doors. 3, and this one I originally wanted to have at number 1, but my number 1 is just one of my favorite songs of all time. So People Get Ready by Curtis Mayfield.
Good song.
I'm sad you guys didn't have it on your list. Interesting.
It was down to my final few.
2, Ordinary People by Van Morrison. And number 1.
Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind just to save his own belief? One love.
One Love, People Get Ready by Bob Marley and the Wailers.
What about
Good choice. Good choice.
Another good song.
Very good choice. So, Gabe, did this educate you both? Were you familiar with People Are Strange before this?
To be
song?
completely honest, no. No, and I know that's a pretty popular
Well,
song.
this was very good education. If you educated yourself on Everyday People and People Are Strange, this was a worthwhile project for you. You discovered 2 great songs.
I guess so. And I listened to several more. Like it was those weren't the only 2 I listened to.
You had a good choice at number 1, though. Cannot argue with your number 1. Very, very good. Anytime you're going Bob Marley, I'm willing to accept that. Let's see here. Starting on Facebook, John has People Are Strange, Everyday People, Every Kind of People by Joe Cocker, People Get Ready by Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck, and Lonely People by America.
Gosh, I forgot about Lonely People. Another good one.
That's the problem. Everybody forgets about the lonely people. That's why they're lonely. Carolyn has People Get Ready by The Impressions, People by Barbara Streisand, People of the Sun by Rage Against the Machine, People I've Seen Sad by Christine and the Queens, and People Help the People by Birdie.
Man, she is. I love her list because there are people I've never heard of. And then she goes from Barbara Streisand to Rage Against the Machine. Wow. That's diversity.
That is. Bobby on Facebook. These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about this song. Purple People Eater by Sheb Woolley. I can't believe I forgot about Purple People
I never,
Eater.
yeah.
I didn't even think about that one. People and Places by Journey. Every Kind of People, Joe Cocker. And People Are Crazy, Billy Currington. That's also an accurate statement. Number 5, Billy on Facebook. Number 5, Ordinary People, Clay Walker. Number 4, These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. Number 3, Ordinary People by John Legend. A lot of people have done Ordinary People. Number 2, Two People Fell in Love by Brad Paisley. And number 1, People Are Crazy by Billy Currington, with an honorable mention to the Beautiful People, Marilyn Manson. So Billy Currington to Marilyn Manson. That's pretty good little switcheroo for you there too. Ray in Cordova, number 5, Beautiful People, Ed Sheeran. Number 4, People Are People, Depeche Mode. Number 3, Everyday People. Number 2, Lonely People. And number 1, Shower the People, James Taylor.
Good one.
That was one that would have probably been number 6 on my list. That was really close to being in my top 5. Bobby in Midtown. Number 5, We Are the People by Jimmy Buffett. Number 4, I've Seen All Good People. Number 3, People Get Ready, version by Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck. 2, People by Tommy Bolin. And number 1, One Love, People Get Ready, Bob Marley. So Bobby agrees with Gabe. Jason on the First Bank text line, 67129. Wonderful World, Beautiful People, Jimmy Cliff. Number 4, We Are the People Our Parents Warned Us About, Jimmy Buffett. I've never heard that.
I never heard that one either.
Number 3, I've Seen All Good People. Number 2, People Are Strange. And number 1, One Love, People Get Ready. So a couple of folks agreeing with Gabe's number 1.
Smart ones. Smart
Yes.
people.
Smart People. Was that a song too? Who sang Smart People? Let's see.
There's Short People by Randy Newman.
Zed as Blue Monday People, Curtis Mayfield. Lonely People. We the People Are Darker Than Blue, Curtis Mayfield. Shower the People. And People Get Ready. So he has 3 Curtis Mayfield songs in his top 5. Says, I want to thank you for helping me discover Curtis Mayfield. His songs are comfort in these trying times.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's part of what this segment does. It introduces people to new music.
Let me say this too. Every Kind of People by Robert Palmer, something that can be played today as meaningful. In fact, Gabe, I want you to cue that one up. We're going to listen to that a little bit because it's perfect for the times right now. Nobody has mentioned that song other than me.
Let's see. Nico comes with number 5, Everyday People. Number 4, People Every Day by Arrested Development. Number 3, People Are Strange. Number 2, The Purple People Eater. And number 1, Purple People, Christmas in Space by Tori Amos. She makes her triumphant return at number 1.
Wait, there's 2 Purple People songs?
And you said Every Kind of People by Robert
Yes.
Palmer?
There's the Purple People Eater, and then
Right.
this one is Purple People Christmas in Space.
Yes.
I don't know.
A couple of Purple People songs.
Well, I figured that Nico, being a Vikings fan, I thought he would have the Purple People Eater at number 1.
Oh, he's a Vikings fan. Okay, makes a lot of sense now.
But he went Purple People with Tori Amos. I understand putting Tori Amos ahead of Purple People Eater because he's such a big Tori fan. But certainly I thought with a Vikings fan, the Purple People Eater would be up there. I'm really mad that I forgot about Purple People Eater.
Would it have made your list?
It would certainly at least been an honorable mention. Tim comes with People of the South Wind by Kansas.
Yeah, I love that song. And in fact, it made it for another list that we had where we had like directions or something, and it made my list.
Short People, Randy Newman.
Mhm.
People Are People, Depeche Mode. People Are Strange. And number 1, Games People Play by the Alan Parsons Project.
Okay, Spinners I use, but that's a good one too.
Somebody says Up With People. That's all they say. That's it. Just one song.
Wasn't that a group, like a musical group
Oh, I don't
in
know.
the 70s? Up with People. Well, I gotta look that up.
Number 1, Games People Play, Alan Parsons. Number 2, People and Places Journey. Number 3, People of the South Wind. Number 4, I've Seen All Good People. And number 5, People Are Strange.
Up with People is a nonprofit organization that uses a 5-month program involving travel, the performing arts, volunteering, and various workshops focused around intercultural communication to teach young adults how to interact in a multicultural environment and create change in communities with varying needs. I'm not saying that that's what the person was referencing to. There could be a song, Up with People, but that's the Up with People organization.
Number 5, another list here. These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. Number 4, Everyday People. Number 3, I've Seen All Good People. Number 2, Two People Fell in Love. And number 1, Shower the People. So James Taylor getting some love. Shower
Yeah,
the People
great.
is a good song. I really did want to. That was really, really close to my top 5. I do like that song a lot.
Yeah, I had the Depeche Mode song in there, and obviously I had People Are Strange, but the Shower the People is the one I'm disappointed. I really forgot about that one. Just completely forgot about that one. Any more?
Up With People is a song by Up With the People, it looks like. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Up with People going on.
There are a lot of people that are up and going up.
A lot of people that are
Um,
high, I know that. But apparently they're up too.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I see as some video here with Up With People by Up With the People, 1976.
Yeah, that's
And
the
And the collar on the guy's shirt would tell you that it is definitely 1970 something.
yeah, that's the period of Up with People that I remember. What's our category for tomorrow?
For tomorrow, we did home. Like tomorrow, we will do house.
So we did home. I forget who had that. I don't know if it was you, but we didn't have any variation of house, right, during that. Oh, I think I even asked you that. You said no, it's just going to be home. So we'll do house tomorrow, and I got a couple of really good ones coming up for later in the week. All right, so here's the song. I want you to listen to this song as we head to the timeout. This is Every Kind of People, Robert Palmer, and very meaningful.
Keeps a man up on his feet, holding down his job, trying to show he can't be bought. Who takes every kind to make what life's about, yeah. Every kind of people to make the world go round. Someone's looking for a lead. It is duty to a king or to a queen, protecting what he feels is right, fights against wrong with his life. There's no profit in deceit. Honest men know that revenge does not taste sweet. Whether yellow, black, or white, each and every man's the same inside. Who takes
56 on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 21 operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company. 867-0303. That's 867-0303.
Down in Orlando. The bubble is, of course, the NBA's bubble. The bubble is the WNBA's version of the bubble. They both have bubbles, separate parts of Orlando. Well, there is no such thing as a bubble, CJ.
What's that?
Well, that would be a volleyball bubble.
Okay.
Except there is no such thing of this. And so what is happening while all of this is going on, while the NBA and WNBA and MLS are taking precautions of all sorts, down in Orlando today, now again, this is Orlando in Florida, where they have more cases, almost actually double the cases of the entire UK and Europe. Let me just repeat that. Florida has double the cases of the UK and Europe combined, and 8% of the cases in the world happen to be in Florida. So if you're going to be down there, you better take precautions, right? Wrong.
Oh.
How about we start a 9-day amateur AAU volleyball tournament for preteens and teenagers? That starts today. That's going to draw 17,000 people to the Orlando Orange County Convention Center. Woo! You think they're quarantining? Nope. Now, fun fact: do you think that the health officer for the Florida department there in Orange County? Do you think that that this person has checked out the plans for the tournament?
Nope.
He hasn't. Not a bit. Why would the Florida Health Department guy want to look at the plans for a volleyball tournament involving a bunch of kids and families and stuff traveling from all over the country down into the epicenter of the coronavirus epidemic to hang out in an enclosed convention center? What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
I mean, this is just beyond belief.
Is it?
Beyond belief.
Is it?
It is. This really is.
This is unbelievable.
Yes.
You can't believe that people would be willing. You can't believe that 17,000 people would be willing to travel to Florida, the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic right now, and play in a youth volleyball tournament.
No. That I can believe.
Okay.
What I can't believe that there are people that will allow it to occur.
They've allowed everything else to occur in Florida.
This is the first major event in the Orange County Convention, or the first major event period of this sort. They have not allowed it. They didn't allow it. That was the point. But now they're allowing it. The volleyball tournament. This is, I mean, it's one thing to allow, like for example, like you got around here, kids in high schools are allowed today to start, doing workouts and stuff for whenever the football season happens to, but if it does. That's much more of a controlled environment. I have some concerns about that, obviously, but look, it's a controlled environment. It's a much, smaller group. This is 17,000 people, and the authorities are allowing it to happen. I'm aware this thing was going to be a lot bigger. There are only 500 teams. There were supposed to be 3,000 teams. So you're talking about this would have been, much closer to 100,000 down there. Instead, it's 20% of that, but still. That's an ordinary amount, and someone should step in and be like, "No, man, we can't do this. Not right now." It's not worth the volleyball tournament to determine who the volleyball champion is at this point. I know we all like to play volleyball. These kids like to play volleyball. Absolutely. Not like this. But you know what? That's what's happening. And again, this is all the more reason why the bubble has to be absolutely tight when it comes to the NBA. Because stuff like this is happening around it, and stuff like this is happening in all the surrounding regions. You just it's crazy. You can't have it.
I mean, nobody's going to tell them no. Who's going to tell them no? Nobody has shown the willingness to tell folks no during this. It's always been, hey, you make your own decisions, man. You do what's best for you. And these people think this is what's best for them. This is not nearly as surprising for me. I mean, we still got travel baseball going on. We still got youth soccer going on. Like, we still got these things happening, man. And it's a lot of people, way too many people that should be traveling to Florida and participating in an event like this there. But like this is what it is right now. People don't want to listen. People don't want to take make the necessary sacrifices to try and really flatten the curve, really try and stop the curve from not flattening it, just decrease it some, because it's going up. We are at more cases now than we were initially when we were really hit hard at the start of the pandemic. And we got more information. We learned more things about the virus. We learned how to better equip ourselves, mask wearing, standing 6 feet apart, avoiding large gatherings, those types of things. We know more about it today than we did in April. And it's not nearly as important for us to do the necessary things to stop the spread of it. And so that's how you end up with a situation where 17,000 people think it's cool to go kick it in Florida. Why not? I don't know. I don't know if anything else can be said about them at this point in time. Because if you wanted to listen, you would have listened in March. You would have listened in April. You would listen in May. You would have listened well before now. Now you're just willfully ignoring the facts and willfully putting not only your life but others' lives at risk and at jeopardy. And that's on you, man. If you can sleep with yourself at night, unfortunately, I guess go ahead and knock yourself out.
It's just depressing, man. I mean, this is the type of stuff that's it should be brain or not to do. I mean, we talk about schools and stuff. I mean, it's vital for kids to get education. All that that's a very that's a much more challenging. It's not vital to do an AAU volleyball tournament. It's not vital. It's nice. It's not vital. None of the sports stuff's not vital. Mm-hmm. And this is going to get people killed. Mm-hmm. It's going to get people. It's going to get people sick. It's going to get people killed. So, I don't know how they can get this thing insured. Like, there's got to be a lot. There's got to be. I don't know what the waivers are. It seems crazy to me. Like, it feels like you're just sashaying into a lawsuit on this thing. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's an indoor event. I mean, I don't. Even if it was outdoors, you might.
This shouldn't be happening.
No, it shouldn't be happening.
It is 17,000 people kicking it in Florida right now for a youth volleyball tournament. It could be youth volleyball. It could be AAU. It could be travel baseball. It's 17,000 people traveling down there for this. That shouldn't be happening. Not to Florida. Not anywhere, but especially not Florida right now.
I don't know. So the bubble. This is why the bubble is, and the bubble is not going to be visited by Russell Westbrook anytime soon because he's tested positive for COVID-19. We talked about how Russ was not part of the team, the group that traveled. Neither was James Harden. Not heard anything about James Harden's situation, although it might not be shocking to discover that he also would be infected. I mean, Houston has been one of the hardest hit areas. James likes to, hang out at.
He's a grown up.
Spots.
He does grown up
grown
stuff.
up.
Man.
He certainly enjoys that. And even though those spots you're not supposed to be in much contact, chances are that maybe there was. Who knows? Luke Ba Mute as well has not joined them yet, although he is supposed to. He's the new signing for them. So, but Russell Westbrook testing positive for COVID, and I mean he's okay. He's feeling well. He's quarantined. He's going to join again. It's unfortunate for him, obviously, but this is kind of like the whole point of the bubble and the whole point of the NBA's protocols. If you're going to test positive, you wanted to go ahead and test positive and go ahead and get yourself quarantined in the bubble rather than after. That's why the ideal thing would have been to isolate for 7 days or 14 days for even traveling, but this is the next best thing. So at least you're testing repeatedly on the build up to it, so that you don't jump on the plane, fly down, then get tested positive. Now we got a whole different set of circumstances that could hit you. This is the way it's designed. So this is a good. It's not a good thing to get COVID, but it's good that it was identified now as opposed to later. That was sort of the point of the whole thing.
Yeah, this is the way you go about doing it. Otherwise, you end up with a situation like MLS has, where you allow people into the bubble and then they start testing positive. Well, they've already traveled together. They've already been on the plane or together. They've already gone through practices and the like together, and they've been in common areas with others in the franchise. Well, the various franchises, excuse me. So now you've got a situation where the bubble's supposed to be this vessel that prevents coronavirus from getting in. Well, now you've allowed it to get in. This sterile area is now sterile. You've allowed people with the coronavirus to get in, and now it spreads, and you have a situation where we've seen multiple teams in MLS leave the bubble or have to leave the bubble. We've seen multiple games postponed in MLS, one Sunday right before they were set to go out there and compete on the pitch. So this is the way to go about doing it if you're going to try and come back and try and use this bubble theory as the best way to do it safely for everybody involved.
Also, curious, there are some nuggets, including Michael Porter Jr., Gary Harris, who have not traveled to Denver, have not been part of any of the practices or anything like that. So you kind of wonder about their status. And of course, we talk about the bubble, and sometimes guys can sneak away from the bubble. Whoopsie-daisy. We've had a few whoopsie-daisies, so we'll talk about those when we come back here in the Family Leisure Studios on a Soft Rock Tuesday. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Take Sports 56 with you on local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are Farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Al, don't ask why.
Al, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Show me the way. You know why? Because we are about to on Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm dead serious. We are blessed. We are so fortunate. That's right. This is happening, y'all. I don't even know how I feel about this. I'm kind of nervous to actually talk to him. But the professor, Charles Grantham, also a man that you've probably heard from Ed O'Bannon case. You could have seen him on Vice News, maybe HBO. Do you ever read the USA Today? I've read his work in the USA Today. Basically, Charles has been everywhere. And again, he taught school at Seton Hall for a while. He's done everything. And he's been so kind, and I feel so blessed that he joins us down here in the Mid-South. Charles, how's life treating you?
Well, so nice to have you as well. So thank you for the welcoming. And I'm doing okay. I mean, in this time of uncertainty, we all have to be careful. But quite frankly, as long as we are able to continue our work, things are good.
No, that's exactly true. And you're one of the people, by the way. I just want to make sure people understand with what's going on in the bubble. The fact that only 2 people out of 322 people tested positive, they're now quarantining. It feels like the bubble is actually working. And for you, as somebody who works so diligently between the National Basketball Players Association and the NBA, and the fact that they were able to work this out, what do you realistically think about the players? The players, like Mr. Silver. How do you like? Are you impressed? Do you look at other sports and shake your head? Do you want to just basically like hand a torch? How do you feel, Charles?
Well, there are a couple of things that I think I'm excited about. One is that basketball is back to some degree, and as a big fan, I think along with the millions of other people, we're happy to at least see it come back. Of course, hockey is in a similar situation. They're coming back, MLS, and we have such an insatiable appetite for sports in this country that we're just happy to be able to see them play on television, recognizing that there will be no fans. But if I step back, I say I'm cautiously optimistic. I recognize that the NBA has done, quite frankly, a phenomenal job of putting all this together, this bubble with 22 teams, with immense protocols for health safety. So if there's a chance that it will happen, I think the NBA has put together a combination of health and safety issues to protect the players, because the players are really the most important and most valuable assets, not your stadiums or anything else. So if in fact we can make this happen in a healthy bubble, I'm a little concerned, obviously, with the increase in cases in Florida, and sometimes I think maybe the NHL, by hosting 2 bubbles in Canada, getting out of the country, they may be in maybe a better situation. But as I've said before, that the team that wins this championship is obviously going to be very high regarded for self-discipline and being able to focus and persevere, because this is a tremendous challenge. And from the standpoint of health and safety, in spite of the fact that they're in a bubble, and I think they're going to do well, I'm still very much concerned about any potential long-term effect for those young people who actually get sick.
Now,
so we're not out of the woods yet. It could very well be that we have an interruption again, but I think the NBA has pulled out all stops to try to make this thing a success.
I will tell you one thing. I think Adam Silver, Chris Paul, the National Basketball Players Association, and NBA, and everybody's got together, and they've done such a fabulous job. I think this thing is actually going to take off. But I do want to actually, and I'm going to go there. I hope you don't want to beat me up, but I want to go there because you're one of the people who go back you go back as far as the early 90s. As one of those people, you wrote an article back in the day in the New York Times, I believe, where you said, college athletes, they should share in the revenue. Look at the concept that the NBA created. You said it would clearly work in college basketball, college football, and college sports. But I'm just kind of wondering now. It was 1990 when you wrote this article. It's 2020, and we are now in a pandemic with COVID-19, and we are now having to go back and look at these institutions that paid $75 million for a floating pond or whatever you call that at Clemson, or $25 million from one school just to pay coaches to not work. You look at just Ohio State paying, what was it, no, not Ohio State, it was Iowa. They're paying, Chris Doyle, $1.1 million to leave. You look at these numbers and it sounds like literal lunacy, but we want our young men to go out there and say, hey, you're doing this for your education. Again, you can pay for your education. It's ridiculous that an education these days almost up to where it's almost north of $100,000 these years, and I do appreciate what these schools are doing for these athletes. But hey, I played baseball. We got a quarter scholarship. Football players get the biggest scholarship. Title IX. The women's division is working very, very hard. I just don't understand how it is that Mark Emmert can pay himself what he does. I love the University of Memphis, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I love you, Doctor, but Dr. David Rudd, I don't understand why you pay yourself so much when you don't pay your students. And I saw you were an adjunct professor for 15 years, right?
Well, no, now I'm actually the director of the Center for Sport Management at Seton Hall University.
I didn't know you're moving on up. But back then, I'm just curious. When you were an adjunct, I know for me, when I was an adjunct professor for almost a decade at Memphis, I never made more than $15,500 a year. That's embarrassing.
Well,
we're
they
educating
never
our
did-
universe. I mean, we're educating our future.
Yes. Well, it goes back to 1990, and really what I could see then, because we started our revenue sharing concept in '83.
Oh,
and what
really?
we're able to quickly see is that if there was a defined amount of revenue that was designated for the players, all based on a percentage of revenue that was generated, that the players would feel competitive. They would feel like they're partners in this venture. And I saw very quickly that something like this could work for college athletes, because I would always see the number one draft picks that would come in, and I would shake their hands and say, guys, you did a great job and you're going to be paid. But what about the 10 guys or 12 guys or 35 players that were on the football or basketball team with you that helped you get here?
that help
that
you
helped
get
you
there.
get here?
Yes.
And what happens to them? Okay, so the article I wrote, it's so meaningful today because I addressed it in a couple areas. I said,
Do
look,
you
we don't
remember
have
the
to-
article that you wrote in 1990?
Yeah,
that I'm
of course I
referring?
do. Of course
I knew.
I do.
I
because
thought you would.
I pushed that concept in the O'Bannon case, and that
Yes,
was
you did.
that I felt that these athletes should be granted a percentage of the revenue, and it should be access to them via a trust fund that they would get the moment they walked on the field as a freshman. But they could not access it until they actually got their degree, which could be 4 or 5 years later. So that and that you would qualify it as a benefit or a quality of life benefit, as I said. And so it's not a paycheck every Saturday. So get away from that concept. But when I saw a college football coach able to sign a contract for $94 million over 10 years, I said, enough's enough.
It is.
Okay,
Exactly.
this is really the
It's a
time
sham.
that you should be share that.
By the way, I took that word out of your article. I remember you wrote, of course, the way I think it's a sham, and it always it always has been, and that's what it is.
Totally agree. But what can be done? The point is, as you see now, there have been several states that have gone into promoting a bill and
California
a law
and Florida.
California, and now there is a push for a federal law that would create a mechanism or force the universities to allow student athletes to be compensated for the use of their name, image, and likeness. And where the dispute now lies is that the universities are willing to offer an individual likeness, which would mean you could use your individual likeness to earn compensation, but you wouldn't be able to use, for example, the university's logo. Well, this is a 50-50 ball game. The logo of the university is enhanced by the star players who wear it. And so, to me, it's just sort of a very beginning offer of a long-term negotiation that's going to have to be had between those who play, these young people who do. And at some point, someone will have to represent their interests. Up till now, the universities and the NCAA have been very adamant about not allowing these young people to be termed employees. because that takes it into an entirely different legal argument. But at some point here, we're going to have to be able to sit down and recognize that the university's revenue in football and in basketball in particular, between the television contracts and the bowl games and the NCAA championships, are multi-billion-dollar businesses. And therefore, we have to be cognizant of the fact that the labor or the talent that's driving this industry, it's got to be fairly compensated.
Just think about, and by the way, what you talked about, you mentioned a contract, and makes me think of Nick Saban. I don't know if you were speaking to him or maybe Dabo, but I can yell
Dabo.
TJ, it was Dabo. I can go all day with, heck, Trevor Lawrence. We might even see this year if they try to move it to the fall. But if I just used, I think of Alabama, who's been so dominant, and he's been, Nick Saban has got a statue. He's been making millions upon millions of dollars. But think about Mark Ingram and Eddie Lacy or Trent Richardson and TJ Yeldon. Those are just running backs. And then we're forgetting about the beast in Tennessee, Derrick Henry. Think about the wide receivers and Julio Jones that he had down there. Think about what he's got right now down in Miami and Tua Tagovailoa. It takes players. Heck, Mount Cody. You can go back to even players that didn't even really make it, Rashawn McClain, but hell, they were ballers at Alabama. So they meant so much to him, and they meant so much to that school. And then once it feels like they're used up.
Well, they are, but I do believe that we're at a time now, because of sort of the convergence of all these things at one time, that, as you could see, several of the universities have already requested or even required the young student athletes that are on campus now working out in preparation for the fall or the winter to ask to sign these waivers.
Wow. Like Ohio State, that was embarrassing, I thought.
Yeah, so if you had a son now and he was about to play football at Ohio State, would you be willing to allow him to sign a waiver on the pandemic issue?
No way. I mean, could you imagine? I'm being serious. You're a middle class American, and that's being kind. You're working your tail off, and then your son gets sick because he's going to play his dream. You would never say no to your son to go play his dream. You would never say no to your daughter to go after their dream, but they get sick for something that seems pretty much like it's going to happen. Could you imagine that they get real sick, spend weeks in a hospital in an incubator, and then you get a $200,000 bill? How the hell are you going to pay for that?
Yeah. So all of these are issues that the NCAA is facing, the university system is facing. We as a society, and where are our ethics when it comes to this issue? So somehow this is going to have to at some point be resolved.
Did you just say ethics?
I did. I know it sounds strange in the college sports today, but yes.
I haven't heard that word since I took journalism ethics with my teacher back in, oh my God, that was decades ago. But no, ethics is something that people also, that's something that needs to be taught. That's something needed people, like the golden rule, again, treat others like you want to be treated. Money should not be the end-all, be-all. Yes, we want sports. We pray for sports. We want them to bring us back. But my man, I read your article in like 1990. And
we're at 2020,
and it's
as you pointed out, 30 years.
2020, and it's 30 years. And I just don't see the difference that's changed. And I don't see how I see a little difference. Don't get me wrong. But I do see how, like, today it's so prevalent. Like, it means just as much in 1990 as it would today if you just published it in the New York Times.
Welcome back in as we cruise through our very first hour on this gorgeous Tuesday. Wallow and Stats with you until 6. We always enjoy talking with our friend Daryl Smith, who is the tournament director of the World Golf Championship, the FedEx St. Jude Invitational. And up until really last week, we were thinking we were going to get some folks here. They'd already built a couple of structures anyway on the grounds at Southwind. And then there was a collaboration, and I think it was more tour than it was the Shelby County Health Department, but the decision was made. The WGC will go on. It will go on without fans. Daryl Smith does join us now. Good afternoon, Daryl. I know that that, like all of us, had to pain you a little bit to make that announcement.
Yeah, good afternoon, and thanks for having me on. And, it's been an interesting last 5 months, ever since COVID-19 became a reality. And, of course, we made an announcement, last week that the tournament is going to still be contested and still be played here at TPC Southwind, but we are going to move forward without fans on site. And that was a extremely tough decision, and one that was very collaborative in nature, and spent a lot of time on a robust health and safety plan that we were all very, very comfortable with. But in the end, the most prudent decision for us was to contest the competition without fans on site. And it'll be definitely a surreal moment when we get to tournament week here in a couple weeks. But, we said from day one that the health and safety is our number one priority, and that will remain our number one priority as we conduct the event.
Daryl, what will be your medical protocol? What has been your orientation from the PGA Tour, and how quickly will they get to town and set up everything for like the permanent staff, like you and many others, and then everybody that will be allowed onto the premises?
Yeah, so we've developed a partnership with Sanford Health, and it's a roving laboratory that will come to town, and we'll have the resources that we need to test the constituents that will need to go through COVID-19 testing. There will still be, about 1,000 people that will be on property throughout a day to conduct the competition. When you look at, players and caddies, staff, a very small number of volunteers, and out of that 1,000 or so, I would expect about 300 to be tested. And we'll go through a full COVID-19 testing, and then of course we'll have different protocols in place, about social distancing, and we'll be offering all of our volunteers PPE. So it'll be very comprehensive and robust. I mean, we want to definitely take the protocols that have been in place on the PGA Tour since we returned to golf, and we're going to implement those on site. And as we all know, some of those things have changed over the weeks, and if there are changes between now and then, we'll implement those changes as well. So it's a very well thought out plan that is, the safety of everybody is going to be the number one priority again.
I'm assuming that the closer you get to the players, that you get a little more scrutiny. For instance, would you, Jack Salmons, are if you're going to be close to the players, are you required by the PGA now to be tested prior to the event?
There's definitely, there's a category of people. If you think of the golf course as a bubble, there's a group of individuals that are considered inside the bubble, and the TPC Southwind Clubhouse will be considered one of the primary inside the bubble areas. So anybody that has to have access to the clubhouse, which will primarily be players and caddies and, some essential staff to the operation, those individuals will be tested. Our whole staff will not have to be tested just because their interactions with, players and caddies or officials is not maybe as robust as, as maybe myself. But there is a good number of us that will go through a testing procedure. It will touch a lot of different areas of the tournament.
We're talking with Daryl.
Will mask and PPE be required on the grounds by people that are out there?
Yeah, so that's a good question, Brett. I mean, we've always said that whatever the local guidance is in the community that we're playing in, that we will abide by that guidance. Of course, we are aware that there is a mask ordinance in the city of Memphis. Most of our time is going to be spent outdoors, of course. Just talking to some of my colleagues that have already produced a tournament with no fans. Players and caddies, there's not a lot of hanging out and congregating. Players and caddies are coming to a golf course. They might go in the locker room, change their shoes, go on the range, hit a few balls, and they'll play golf and leave pretty soon after their completion of their round. So, while we are in public spaces or in spaces inside the clubhouse, of course, masks will be something that we will strongly encourage, if not require. But if you are, outside on the ground, the most important thing is to maintain that social distancing. But PPE will be readily available to all of our volunteers, players and caddies. We've packaged up different sanitary products for them as well as masks. And you've seen in several of these past tournaments that players, while they're actually inside the ropes competing, we haven't seen players wear a mask, but there has been some, as players finish their round and they go into scoring, that masks are put on. So a lot of that is to the players' discretion, but we will have all that available for them.
We're talking with our friend Daryl Smith, Executive Director of the WGC FESJI. In a normal year, you've got all these volunteers, including some that are sort of witnesses. They carry the scoring standard. Well, that obviously won't be needed. But will there be those kinds of people that will walk with the groups, or is this just going to be guys in carts that are rules officials that will be out there other than the players and the TV crew and caddies?
Yeah, there'll be about 200 volunteers on property, Thursday through Sunday. The majority of those volunteers will be tied to our scoring system, which is called ShotLink. Mm-hmm. Of course, those individuals are placed in the fairway at different locations and around the green that we can, transfer that information of, where that shot landed back to our scoring system. And we'll also have scoring markers within each group that will, be the ones that actually score the competition from, going to PGAtour.com and seeing the latest news and scores. Those volunteers will be part of the actual experience this year. And then there'll be a handful of other volunteers that are, really tied to player essential areas. So is that our transportation committee. We're fortunate that we have a great partner in Landers Ford that has, supported this tournament for so long. We're still going to be able to, provide courtesy cars to our players. And our transportation committee will be, working really early in the week to, make sure that those cars get to Memphis International or they get to a FBO and, they're properly sanitized before that player gets into that car and has that car the rest of the week. And then, our caddy committee will still be around and on property to help with caddies and caddy bib distribution. So, most of the volunteers are going to be on the scoring side of the house. And then also, those that have interactions with, with our players and our caddies.
They're on the player commitment front, very different than it used to be with when it was just the regular PGA Tour stop now with the WGC. And as you told our audience 2 weeks ago, we're going to have a maximum of 78 players in the field, and that's up from last year. When do you think those will start trickling in more? I know what the deadline is the week before, but when do you think you can unveil some actual firmed up player announcement?
Yeah, we've been very cautious of just how we announced player commitments this year just because we knew that we were dealing with a very fluid situation in the golf tournament. And, we want to be very transparent with our fans and with our supporters that, we need to make a larger general announcement of what this golf tournament will look like before we, made player announcements. And our first player announcement will be tomorrow. So we're excited about that. It'll shape up to be a very exciting announcement. I mean, with the WGC, we know that the best players in the world are, typically they make these a priority. And I think with tomorrow's announcement that, that will definitely be the case.
Huh.
You can tell us now, Tiger. Go ahead.
Are we gonna get a name?
Go ahead, Daryl.
Are we gonna get a name we haven't had before?
Well, I mean, right now, everybody wants to, immediately go to Tiger Woods, and I think it's safe to say that, Tiger, if he decides to play, that will be an announcement that will be closer to the tournament. That won't be an announcement that I expect to, be had 2 weeks out. But I think we'll see some familiar faces. This tournament has been, so successful over the years, and we're fortunate that, a certain player like Dustin Johnson has been so loyal to us and has won earlier this year. And, we're also excited about Daniel Berger making his return back to Memphis.
Yeah.
And, Daniel becoming eligible and has been playing some great golf this year. It's going to be a special moment for him to, be a two-time winner back-to-back, to, be able to, play in the tournament. And, I think we'll see some familiar faces. This tournament has been, so successful over the years, and we're fortunate that, a certain player like Dustin Johnson has been so loyal to us and has won earlier this year. And, we're also excited about Daniel Berger making his return back to Memphis. And, Daniel becoming eligible and has been playing some great golf this year. It's going to be a special moment for him to, be a two-time winner back-to-back, to, come back to TPC Southwind and to compete for a World Golf Championship. So there's a little hint of some of the familiar names that might be in that announcement, but we're looking forward to making it official tomorrow.
For Daniel Berger, it'll be a little different, though. He only wins in the second week of June. All
that's right.
Tournaments have come in the second week of June. But he does play this golf course so darn well. We've already heard hints, Brooks Koepka, Rory McIlroy. I would think Dustin Johnson, who is a winner of the FESJC, would want to come out and play this thing. But we'll find out tomorrow. That is for sure. Your first list will come out. The excitement level is still there. This is CBS, right? So they have their full crews, and we will still get to watch probably as much or more than we've had before through the Golf Channel and through CBS. True? Yeah,
that's right. I mean, we've got great broadcast partners. We're on air longer than we ever have been on air. From the past years. Similar to what we were last year at the World Golf Championship, but. One thing about the World Golf Championships is there's a longer TV window, which makes, a lot of sense when you have the best players in the world, competing over 4 days of competition with no cut. So, there will be no shortage of opportunities to tune in on the Golf Channel and, of course, on CBS. We are going to, we'll go 1 to 5 on CBS on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're actually a little bit of change. We're going to go to 2 to 6. We typically finish at 5 o'clock on Sunday, but a little bit different TV window for us this year. But, there's, as I told everybody, I mean, while it is a challenging year and the tournament is going to look a lot different than it did last year, there is still some excitement that, this is going to be broadcast all across the globe, and it's going to have a field that is going to be, star-studded, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see these guys come to Memphis and, the week before the PGA as well. So, I mean, PGA Championship being on the West Coast is going to be a lot of fun for those 2 weeks, of golf, and especially when a PGA Championship goes to California and primetime golf the next week. So we're hoping for a unbelievable broadcast that will showcase the city of Memphis and, of course, talk about the great things about this community, which are FedEx and St. Jude and everything that is extremely important to us.
I've already seen some of the promos, and they look, terrific for this tournament. They always show the river and the skyline and Southwind and Brooks Koepka from last year. I think you get a little snippet in there, too. You're getting some national airtime. Weird question for you. They'd already built a tower for fans. It wasn't big. It was more a skybox on the 18th. Are they going to take that down before the tournament?
Yeah, that's already down, as a matter of fact. So we, there's a lot to this thing that comes down a lot quicker than it goes up. But when we made the decision that we were going to build some hospitality, and we were hopeful, and we were willing to take that chance, and our partners were committed to us. They wanted to be a part of something, be a part of the tournament. And, unfortunately, the cards didn't fall in the direction we needed them to. But also, we're very comfortable with the decision that we made. And that decision of being, hey, the health and safety of everybody involved is what has to be our guiding principle. So when we got that news, we really started taking down the infrastructure that we had in place immediately. And it's already down. And, we're going to be throwing some fertilizer out there and making sure it's a good backdrop for our broadcast.
Daryl, we hate it. You know that as a radio station, we will still cover it as best we possibly can with the protocols that you put before us and the limitations that you might have to put before us. We understand that. This show in particular will do everything we can to cover it. And we thank you for coming on today. And shoot us the list as soon as you get it tomorrow. We'll put it on.
You bet. I appreciate you guys, and we'll stay in touch.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you. Daryl Smith, Executive Director of the WGC FESJS. So we
about down in Orlando, because you got people doing the AU tournaments and just acting foolishly. The bubble's got to be tight. So my good friend Bruno Caboclo, who I got to know, when he was here in Memphis, very nice guy. Had some interesting conversations with Bruno about lots of different things. Bruno's a man of the world. He enjoys the finer things in life. You know, Bruno's that kind of a guy. He's been around Brazilian. He's been Toronto. But he likes to explore, get out there and see what's going on. And that's why I'm not surprised that Bruno was the first guy to break the bubble.
Yes.
Bruno crossed the line. There's a line. Talk about habitual line steppers. He stepped over that line inadvertently, and it probably was inadvertent because Bruno also is a little bit of a flighty guy. So it's not. It probably was totally inadvertent for Bruno to go get some delivery food or anything like that. But now he's got to get out there because the quarantine. There's an initial quarantine for players and for media and all that. Media have to stay for 7 days because they fly commercially. Players, since they fly together, I think it was a 48-hour quarantine period in their rooms, and they have to pass 2 consecutive coronavirus tests before they are released into the general population. And while that was going on, Bruno went ahead and just left his room and did Bruno stuff, whatever Bruno was going to do. Went out there, and that was during the initial quarantine period. And so he's just like, and they said, "Hey, get back in your room." And now because he did that, because he wanted to take a little stroll, Bruno's got to sit out now for 8 more days. Sorry, Bruno. And he's got to hang out in the room. And I mean, when you literally got to hang out in the room, like you don't go anywhere.
You can't leave the room.
You can't leave the room. Like that's, and they made that clear. And there's the comments. Tim McMahon wrote the story, or Tim Bontemps rather wrote the story from ESPN, and the source said he should have known.
Yeah,
there's no secret. Yeah, it's pretty clear. Like everybody knows what the situation is down there. So yeah. Nice job, Bruno. Come on, dude. So he's got to sit out for 8 more days, but that will not affect him if they need him for the actual games themselves. Also, Richaun Holmes, King's center, inadvertently left the bubble.
Inadvertently. Yeah.
Now, how tight is the bubble if you can inadvertently leave it?
Exactly. You can inadvertently leave it, and there's a back door. Like, is it really that tight?
You shouldn't be able to inadvertently leave a bubble. If the bubble is there, you shouldn't be able to inadvertently just be like, "Oh, I'm out of the bubble." Like, I didn't realize I was out of the bubble.
Somebody should be there, be like, "Hey, where are you going? You're about to leave the bubble."
Don't we have like border patrol on the?
Where's the line of demarcation? This is Zach and I were talking about this. Did they actually leave the bubble, or did they leave their room?
No, there's 2 different issues.
Okay.
So Bruno Caboclo left his room in the initial quarantine. Okay. So the initial quarantine, when all the players arrived down there last week, you had to stay in your room for 48 hours.
Right.
Or at least until you got 2 consecutive negative tests over a lengthy time period. And once you got your second test, then you are free to go. But when you get down there, you're in your room, you're quarantining.
So Bruno left the room during that.
Bruno left the room during that initial period. Richaun Holmes was different. He left the bubble campus. He left the actual bubble apparently to go get some food.
He looked at that food and said, "Nope, not today."
He said, "I'm
gonna risk it all today."
It's all. This is. I can't eat this bland chicken and this grilled sauceless chicken
What
with
is
the
this
sauceless
green
penne
stuff on
pasta.
top? No, I'm not eating this.
This is not me. I am a silver spoon guy, unlike John Morant, and I do not. There are some guys that love this stuff. Some guys are into it. Damari Carroll's like, "Man, this is good eating. I love it." John Morant's like, "Whatever, I don't care. I'm just going to eat. That's fine." Richaun Holmes is like, "Not today, Jesus. Let's go." Nope.
Be offense.
The Lord is not. Nope. The Lord's going to be with me when
Jesus didn't go to Calvary to eat plain bland chicken.
Nope.
That's not why he went.
Nope. So Richaun took it upon himself to get out there, and Kelly Oubre, shout out to Kelly Oubre, who said who was telling the players. Said, by the way, y'all, just so you know, food sucks, but Postmates delivers to the area, but you just got to go down and get it. And then, but apparently going down and getting it equals leaving the campus to go down and get it because they can't get on the campus because it's a bubble. If you got Postmates just drive up and somebody delivery person just be like, "Hey,
just sit it on the ground."
Yeah, no, you can't get on the premises. So apparently the Postmates person has to get outside the bubble, then you got to
Okay.
walk out to get. Or, I don't know. The arrangement is some convoluted arrangement to get non-bubble approved food.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Rashawn Holmes did this, and just kind of sashayed out to go get the food, and was like, "You have left the bubble." Apparently, you could leave the bubble, but then when you try to get back in the bubble, is where the problem comes in. They say, "Where were you? What were you doing?" You know, you'd think you would stop someone before they leave. I don't know. Again, I don't know where everyone's positioned.
I don't want to like dry snitch, but here I go.
Too late.
How Kelly Oubre know what Postmate be doing?
Kelly Oubre knows things, man. That's come on.
All right.
Kelly Oubre snitched on himself. That's
All right.
not a surprise. then Kelly Oubre, then by the way, Kelly Oubre tweeted out, "My bad." LOL. Later.
So what we gonna do with Oubre?
Nothing. He didn't go out. Apparently, He didn't.
He didn't. He
Apparently-
just knows what Postmate needs to do. He just knows, hey, if you walk this way for about half a mile, Postmates will be there to deliver your stuff. He didn't leave. He just knows what Postmates might be doing,
That's correct.
be willing to do.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I mean, at least the hotline is working.
No, apparently no one's used the hotline. This was a separate thing.
Oh.
There was somebody reporting, Chris Haynes, I think it was. Chris Haynes called it the snitch hotline. Said no one's used the snitch hotline as of yet. There is that hotline, though. 1-900-YOU-SNITCH. If you want to, if you see
Chris
someone
Paul is just waiting.
Outside the bubble. He's got that on one of the first contacts. Snitch hotline. Nobody used the snitch hotline. Apparently, he just was found out when he was walking back in, and they were like, hey, dude, where were you? What are you doing? And he's like, I was just getting some food. Now you got to quarantine, my man.
How'd you
Sit
know
out
about
for 8 more days.
How'd you know about this? Kelly Oubre told me. Kelly, how you know? I don't even know what this dude is even talking about. Yeah, I told him, but like, I've been here the whole time. You guys can check my room. I have no delicious food in my room.
I told him it was a possibility that Postmates can deliver.
Nothing that I actually did.
Right.
No, I would
Somebody
never
told
leave the
me.
boat.
Somebody told me. You know, what am I supposed to do? I'm just passing along information. Come on, guys. I mean, it's silliness. Silliness, man. But that's the bubble. They're taking it seriously. Meanwhile, you got 17,000 AAU people coming down and just hanging out and just chilling. Rashawn Holmes can't go get delivery, and you got 17,000 people in the other part of Orlando just hanging out. Doesn't make any sense, man. Doesn't make any sense. We'll talk about Musa coming up in hour number 2. Also, some good news for high school folks around the area, and so much more as we continue here. Hour number 2 on the way. Peter and CJ, Sports 56 Mornings, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7. Musa says he's gonna make his decision official tomorrow at 2:00. I think is when he's going to announce. All indications seems to be that it's going to be a University of Memphis situation. I suppose Musa could pull a little surprise out, but it certainly has been trending in that direction. All the crystal balls, all the, I'm sure Kari would agree. Our Musa correspondent, Kari Thompson.
He said so Friday. He said that he always felt like LSU was just there to throw the scent off of Memphis for a little bit.
Well, smoke screen.
Yep. Misdirection.
Well, it would be big for Penny, no doubt about that. The Tigers need a little jolt of positive news. That it would be that in the midst of a season that obviously is already up in the air with the COVID-related situation. No one really knows how the season's actually going to end up happening. And then on top of that, you have the matter of the IARP, not to be confused with the AARP, decision that at some point will come down involving the University of Memphis and James Wiseman and all that stuff that cannot be appealed. So a lot of that stuff hanging out. It's nice to get a little unabashed likely good news for the University of Memphis. Of course, if he didn't pick Memphis for some crazy reason, that would be terrible. But I think it's pretty clear that he's going to. So he's good. CJ, he's good. He's good at basketball, and I've always said that's the key to having a good basketball team is to have good basketball players
and a good fit. Also, so not only be good at basketball, but be a good fit for what the team needs you to be. And I think with the guards that Memphis has and the wing players that Memphis have, when you have a player like Musa who can be that rim protector, that shot blocking presence down low, and somebody who can finish around the rim and maybe even stretch the defense a little bit with his 3-point ability, and get out in transition and run up and down the court and put pressure on you that way as well. Like, you're getting a player that fits in real well for what the Tigers are right now, what they want to be come March, which is a Sweet 16, Elite 8 type of team. They were, without James Wiseman, they were one of the best defenses in the nation. Now, with Musa, what can they do now? Offensively, I think it's still going to be pretty ugly offensively, although I've seen some clips of Boogie Ellis, working out, and Boogie looks like really good to me. But still, I think offensively.
Now, explain to me give me the workout, how you're breaking down the workout.
How am I breaking down? How much sweat first? How much sweat is perspiring from your forehead, from the top of your brow? And there's a lot of sweat there. Okay. And then how many shots are you putting up that you make? And the workouts I've seen been about 3 minutes of made shots. Like, because you want to get all of those. No, he hasn't.
So he's shooting 100%.
And on the workout videos, yes. And it's not enough to just shoot 100% because anybody can shoot 100% off of a 45-second clip, off of like a 50-second clip. But if you can go like 3 minutes, like, that's a lot of made shots, man. So it's the length
good editing
of time but you got to make the shots first to have the editing though.
I can make 3 minutes worth of shots.
You think you can? In how long? In how many hours?
4 minutes.
You on that Zach Boyd stuff, and it is where the ball.
You've seen me shoot. I can shoot.
The ball is going in and it's not, banking off the backboard or bouncing up and down on the rim and then getting those lucky rolls. Just pure, just nothing but swish. That's all you see. That's all you hear. So that is what I'm using to gauge the offensive improvement of these players during these highlight workout type things.
Certainly, that is the best way to determine.
Absolutely.
The breakdown of those Instagram videos.
Yes.
Spectacular.
Yes.
Anybody's workouts, so good. Slow motion. And then that kind of thing. And
good form.
Sweat perspiring, and you have to be like, and then you're like working hard, like, and then you gotta like, and it's got to be like, and you gotta have this serious face. You gotta be like, it's time to get down to business.
Absolutely.
I look back on and then and then it's yeah. I can make these videos. I got no problem with that.
Boogie also looks bigger. That's another thing.
12 pounds?
12 to 15. A muscle.
Muscle.
A
Pure
muscle. 12 to 15, a pure muscle.
Everyone's just been adding this muscle.
every offseason, it's amazing.
Boogie, everyone just
only
muscle,
add 12 to 15 pounds of fat. They can add 12 to 15 of muscle every single offseason. Doesn't matter who it is.
The big difference between you and them is that they're working out.
I knew I was missing something.
I think
that's
a big one. That's a big one.
Okay.
That's a big difference.
All right, I'll start working out, get my 12 to 15 of muscle in.
Yeah. Oh, if you start working out, I mean, I no doubt you're gonna basically look like,
look
Terry
like
Crews.
this, but with 12 to 15 pounds of muscle.
You're gonna look like and probably sound like Terry Crews.
Will I now? That is not a good thing. I do not want to do that. I do not care much for that person right now.
Did you see Chance the Rapper refuse Terry Crews, the endorsement of Terry Crews?
Speaking of people I don't like right now.
Yeah, Chance is also not doing a great job.
No.
But even he was like, I do not accept the endorsement of Terry Crews. Terry Crews is.
And Chance needs that endorsement. Because
Chance is.
We ain't rocking with Chance anymore.
No, everyone's like, what are you
really?
Doing?
Yeah.
Are you rocking with Chance?
He doesn't know.
No,
he doesn't know. Oh,
no, there's no way he knows Chance stands on Kanye and how hard he's riding with Kanye right now.
I know Kanye's his boy.
Okay.
Yes.
See how hard Chance is riding for Kanye all of a sudden.
Right.
Like, watch that. And then let me know if we still rocking with Chance. I get it. He's a dweeby rapper. You seem like you like dweeby rappers.
Dweeby?
Yeah, he's dweeby. Yeah, he's dweeby.
Dweeby?
Chance is not good at all. Chance speaks to a certain type of person.
Yeah.
And I don't want to call anybody names, but just know if you kicking it with dweeby rappers like Chance, I think something about you. Do.
Come on, CJ.
I'm not gonna say I think you're a dweeb or anything, but birds of a feather do that thing where they kick it. So like that is what Chance is, and that's what Chance always has been. We've been giving Chance shelter and cover because Chance hasn't done anything to upset us as the general population. The way he's pitting off of Kanye right now, the way he's riding for Ye in this quote unquote presidential bid, nah, we can't kick it with him no more. We're not rocking with him no more. People are about to make all of the Chance the Rapper jokes and have all of the Chance the Rapper slander. Just give it another week.
You said there's a video of this, or did he like come out on Twitter and said something about it?
He came out on Twitter, which may as well be video. I'm sorry, Zach. I know that's your people. That's your boy. But
But even he doesn't want Terry Crews.
no, and again, that person is like, nope, can't rock with Terry Crews. Just letting y'all know. I know y'all might be mad at me on this Kanye thing, but don't put Terry Crews on me, man. I'm doing something different. Like that's how bad off Terry Crews is right now.
Terry really didn't. It's not going well for Terry.
Speaking of CJ's dweeby rappers, what about Tyler, the Creator?
Listen, I got no issue with Tyler. I don't have really an issue with Chance the Rapper. But I think
an issue with Chance the Rapper.
Well, okay. I didn't have an issue with Chance the Rapper. All these years I held on to my thoughts, my true thoughts about Chance. He got that little Grammy, Best New Artist. He not signed to a major label. He got to hug Jay-Z. Jay-Z looked real proud about him. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give this dude a chance and hear him. And I heard it. It's like, nah, this ain't for me. But I'm gonna hold on to it though. I'm not gonna just be out here in these streets because I love to see people come up. I'm not gonna be out here in these streets just bad mouthing him. So while Chance gets to be talked about in a certain way, Tyler hadn't done anything that would make me feel the need to share my true thoughts about him. So Tyler's fine.
How many songs did you listen? How many Chance the Rapper songs?
During the break, pull up your favorite Chance the Rapper song. I'll come listen to it.
Okay.
He's a dweeby rapper. Like, come on, man.
No.
Yes, he is absolutely a dweeby rapper. Not saying that he is for dweebs, but
But you can't finish that sentence without being a liar.
No
fair
disrespect.
Enough. No disrespect. No disrespect at all. No disrespect. But he's terrible, and disrespect.
He's not terrible.
No, he's not terrible. He's a good rapper.
He's just a dweeb. He's a dweeby rapper, and he makes rap songs for certain types of people. If you're upset about it, I'm not talking about you specifically.
Perhaps you resemble that remark, though.
But if the shoe fits, you can put it on.
Fair enough. We'll talk about it. You guys can hash this out during the break.
I'm going right now.
Okay. All right. Good luck. You guys hash this out during the break. We'll come back. We're going to spin that wheel of conversation. We're going to take care of that. We're also going to take a look at what the Grizzlies have been up to as well in the bubble, because they have been drama free, which is certainly good news about all of that. So we'll talk about that when we return here. The Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
We are Sports 56 W.
Let's get this thing lead off, baby.
I went NFL heavy because we have some things we need to discuss outside of the NFL, right? That are pretty important, especially in college football. When you look at college athletics, what that's going to look like with COVID-19, we have a lot to discuss later on in the show. But I'm going to start here. Remember, we talked about Oakley and the NFL teaming up to see how they could make helmets safe, how they could make football safe.
I like
the Oakley Mouth Shield has now come out. It's sort of a visor that extends down to your mouth. It has some breathing apparatuses that you can breathe through. It's interesting. It's better than what I thought it would be. You saw those Stormtrooper helmets that they tried to say were going to be a thing. Those are not what this is. The Oakley Mouth Shield is designed in collaboration with doctors and engineers from the NFL and the NFL Players Association, and it is going to supposed to mitigate the spread of coronavirus. Now, this is expected to be distributed to all 32 teams over the next week, and it'll get a test drive on a much larger scale. Did you see the picture of it?
Yep,
One.
I sure have.
And I will. You saw it. Now, do you think this could possibly help?
I hate being like Isaac Simpson. Musa Cisse, he said, was going to go to LSU. Remember that? Now he's like, he's going to the Tigers, baby. I remember when they first showed the mask, and the first pictures of the mask where they had this thing in the front, and it looked like everything was
Looked
just gonna-
unbreathable. You couldn't breathe.
It looked impossible. But you know what? I have to go and be honest like Isaac. This is the one thing about what we do for a living. You can't sit there and stand by your guns if you truly want to grow as a human being, just as you can in life. You know, truth changes with time. Oakley, the new design, I will wait till I see a lot of players and hear their results. I will wait till I hear linemen say it's not fogging up. I will wait till I hear running backs say they can breathe. I will wait till I hear quarterbacks saying that they can easily bark out all the things. Linemen can bark out the blocks. Linebackers can call it. When I hear that everybody says, damn, this helmet's working, that's when I'm going to say, hell yes. But I will tell you one thing. Before I even get to the players, the fact that you had literally doctors, engineers, and people that it seems like cared about football happening this year, put together something, and then they even put out, I don't know if you saw this, did you see where they put out their actual drawings and their designs? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can tell this isn't something that they just decided to throw together or some BS. They spent a lot of money, a lot of time. If the players in 1 week come out there and say, I went through an entire practice, I was never fogged up. I went through an entire practice, I didn't have a problem. If that comes out and happens, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a back damn flip, and I'm going to party like a rock star. And I'm going to tell you one thing, I will love Oakley for the rest of my damn life if you want to know the truth.
Anything that mitigates the spread at this point is definitely going to be a positive. I have to give credit where credit is due. I really think just looking at it, and obviously we have to see the statistics, like you said.
It's very
it
different
looks
from the first one.
way better than what
different.
I thought it would look like.
You
it looks
saw
like
the
it's
first
it looks
one.
like it's less intrusive. It looks like it's breathable.
Yes.
It just looks like a visor with an
It actually
extension
looks
down
like
to your mouth.
It looks like a football helmet.
It basically looks like a visor on a football helmet with an extension down to your mouth. It makes a lot more sense.
As Dan McGuire. Did you ever see Dan McGuire's
Yep.
damn visor? I mean,
Yep.
come on, man. No wonder he couldn't throw a pass. Dude could never see. Sorry.
Oh, gosh. Moving on. Devontae Freeman's name surfaced yesterday.
Yeah,
He's a free agent. A lot of people might not know that. He just got dropped by the Falcons this offseason. His agent cut ties with him yesterday. That's why his name surfaced. He signed a 5-year, $41 million contract in 2017. Obviously, again, cut this season by the Falcons. He's been waiting around for a deal, and he couldn't find one. His agent actually said he wasn't being aggressive enough, so that's why she then dropped him. But I want to say I think he could help a team, and I want to know what you think the best fits are going into the 2020 season for Devontae Freeman.
All right, this is one of the saddest things that I've ever thought about. You sent the question. I thought to myself about, hey, maybe he's good enough. Well, and then I was like, trade. No, he got cut. Do you know what I mean?
It's like Todd Gurley.
Yes. It's
similar.
Similar, yes. Maybe Todd Gurley is going to go into Atlanta, and maybe he's going to just find some Georgia love. Like, he'll get in that dirt and that soil, feel that Georgia blood. I don't know, damn it. But I'm going to tell you something, man. From what Devontae Freeman was when the Falcons went to the Super Bowl and you had Julio Jones and Matt Ryan playing at a different level, people forget how good Tevin Coleman was as well. I just hate to say this. He's not an every down back, period. He never will be this day going forward either. He's going to have to wake up and realize where he might be best. Okay? So, right now, you look around. I completely disagreed with you. But Gabe Coote sent me this message and said, what about the Bucks? And I was like, no, they got Ronald Jones, man. I'm like, well, wait a second. What's Ronald Jones besides the second or third or fourth or fifth or can't run everything? Like, he ain't a 4-down back, honestly. He can catch the ball to the backfield. I don't feel very comfortable with him. But a veteran like Devontae Freeman, maybe, on a very low salary, if his legs are still working, basically, because I know his hands are damn good, what would he mean to a Tom Brady? I can't think of another quarterback who could use him properly, is what I'm trying to say. Like, Brady will use Ronald Jones. But if he had Freeman and he needed to have him come out and he's looking at his set and he's got, Cameron Brate and O.J. Howard and double tight set out and Gronk set up in, the sideline with Godwin and all this, and you got one back and only 5 linemen. He's doing a quick read. That quick read's either going to be that tight end or that running back. Who would you trust more, a veteran like Devontae Freeman or a guy like Ronald Jones?
Devontae Freeman.
Me too. That might be the best place for him. A veteran quarterback who understands a veteran running back, and they understands the moves, they understand defenses, and that's the one difference between a young buck who, I think my boy from LSU, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is going to get the Rookie of the Year, and he's going to be a baller in Kansas City. But doesn't know half of what Devontae Freeman does, and if you put him with an old quarterback like Tom Brady, and they're looking at the same thing, you know what they do? They don't have to say a damn word because they played football so much together. They're looking at that one linebacker and wondering, is he covering me, or is he covering Gronk, or is he covering Brate? And that's where the advantage, and that's why I think Freeman, if he has anything left in the tank, maybe he belongs in the Bucks.
Hey, man, it's a thought. You don't have to sign him for much more than the league minimum. And here is the fact. Caught 59 balls last year. 59 balls.
Damn.
So I'm just going to have to say, Tom Brady likes to use running backs that can catch the ball. Maybe it's a good idea. We'll see what he has left in the tank. Now, this is an interesting one. I want you to get involved. 67129 on the First Bank text line, because I came across this, and I just sort of thought this question out. So Patrick Mahomes, we talked about last week, signed his huge record-breaking contract last week, and it was worth a max of $500 million, $503 million to be exact. Now, I want to ask, and for John's purposes, we'll limit this to the NFL, MLB, and NBA. I don't know if you know much about the NHL, but
thank you.
But what other athletes in major sports leagues are worth $500 million to you?
First and foremost, sadly to say, Michael Jordan still is. You know why? I didn't even realize. You look at him. I watched this. Did you see the thing I tweeted out the other day with all these athletes who make all this money?
I'm talking about players right this second.
So it has to be people playing?
Playing.
Okay, if it's current, LeBron James #1.
Okay.
I mean, he's got Maverick Carter. He's got a whole. I mean, he's LeBron bleeping James #1. He's going to be the dude who does replaces Michael Jordan in Space Jam. He plays for the Lakers. He's won a championship with the Cavs. He's won 2 with the Heat. You know what I mean? Like LeBron, I got to do like this, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn though. Tiger Woods is right there. Like Tiger Woods is playing in a tournament today. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they've talked anything about anything else about the tournament and then Tiger Woods?
Nope. It's the main attraction.
Dude, he went and played golf with Tom Brady, Phil Mickelson, and Peyton Manning. And it's Tiger, it's Peyton, it's Phil, it's deadgum Brady.
And they broke TV rating records.
They break TV ratings. And can I just say this? I'm glad Brady ripped his pants. Peyton is a big draw. Yes, Brady is a GOAT. Phil's kind of cute. Whatever. when he's not Martha Stewart it, and that means I'm not talking about cooking. I'm talking about cooking the books. Anyway, Tiger Woods is still the draw. So I got LeBron and Tiger right there. Now, you're going to freak out where I come next. You ready?
I might not. Is it MLB?
Mike Trout.
I figured that one was coming.
Why?
Because he's close to a $500 million contract right this second.
Yes, he is. But can I also would tell you what I also think? His future earnings. I think what he's going to make from his contract. And then I think his future earnings, because I think baseball will wake up during this decade. It's going to happen. COVID will eventually die. We will get back to normal. And baseball's going to wake up and say, damn, you know what? Maybe we should promote our stars. What better star to promote than Mike Trout? I'm telling you, this dude will end up being a billion-dollar baller. And you know what? He might be the Ted Williams, the Babe Ruth. He might be Mickey Mantle. He might be all that BS wrapped into one, and we just ain't paying attention to him. So Mike Trout's number 3. Now, this is going to make me throw up. Do you know number 4 is?
No.
I can't believe I'm about to tell you this. Do you want to know the truth?
Yes.
Do you want to know why I'm bringing it up?
Of course.
Because he got beat up by his brother in our fight. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he's dating Dana Kirkpatrick. Do you know what I mean by that? He is, I don't care what anybody says. Patrick Mahomes was Aaron Rodgers. Like, Aaron Rodgers still, I think, is going to go out there and get him one. You watched before I said this. He's going to do something. He's got this family issue. I don't know what it is. I know he's annoying. Watch him. He'll have a TV show. It'll be like him and Danica. They'll be racing a car. He'll be throwing a football bouncing off her head. I don't know. But damn it, I know he's got another ring in him. And he's still Aaron bleeping Rodgers. And and this is why I say this. Tom Brady is done. Patrick Mahomes is already there. I already mentioned him, right? Aaron Rodgers is the original Patrick Mahomes, is he not?
Pretty close.
So, I'm sorry, that's my 4. And if anybody wants to text in and say Floyd Mayweather or some BS like that, or give me a UFC person, I don't give a damn. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just giving you my opinion. I can't believe I have a golf guy in there, but Tiger is a baller, dude. The dude is just warming up. I turned on the television, and they were showing it. You know what I'm saying?
When you talk about, and I think a lot of these guys, we're talking about $500 million being spent on, they have to be important to their sport. They have to be main draws. They have to bring fans in, and Tiger certainly fits that category no matter what age he's at.
And by the way, I just realized something, and somebody hit this right. You are right. Tiger, LeBron, Patrick, Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if you noticed this, but Mike Trout, that's 5. I gave you 5. Was I supposed to give you 5?
You're supposed to give me as many as you wanted.
Oh, okay. Well, so this
your
person
discretion.
Said, a texter said you were only supposed to give 4. So I just didn't know if I was supposed to only give 4. I was like, damn, sorry.
Texters don't make the rules. I make the rules.
That's my dog right there. Remember, MemphisFarmers.com coming up next. Literally, don't you dare touch that dial. This is going to get deep. This is the real deal. Holyfield, it's happening. It's going down. Yes, we have Charles Grantham. He's joining us next. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
In life, it's easy to get away with good enough when it comes to stuff like trimming hedges and folding towels. But with identity theft protection, good enough probably isn't enough. Because Breaches seem to be happening more and more. And with your breached information, criminals could commit identity theft. Plus, if you're only monitoring your credit, you could miss certain threats like somebody taking out a payday loan in your name or your info being sold on the dark web. That's why LifeLock sees a wide range of identity threats. And if you end up with an identity theft issue, an identity restoration specialist is dedicated to your case to fix it start to finish. Nobody prevents all identity theft or monitors all transactions at all businesses, but shouldn't you have identity theft protection that's better than good enough? Go to lifelock.com or call 1-800-LifeLock. In both instances, use the promo code HURT and save 25% off your first year. How great is that? lifelock.com or 1-800-LifeLock. Both times use the code HURT. 25% off.
Summertime and the living is easy. No more cutting or paying utilities. Literally, you guys, Town Village Audubon Park, nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This
strange. And I think what won me over to put that number one is I just think it's a correct statement. People are strange. There's a lot of strange people in this world.
People are people too, by the way.
People are people.
That is true.
I have not seen all good people. I cannot say I've not seen all good people.
Great list, and there's a few I agree with. There were a number of good songs that did not make my list. Of course, we could say that every single day. But I thought this category ended up being a lot better than I first thought when I came up with using this category. Really strong. And People Are Strange, as much as I love that, and it was on my list to pick from, it did not make my 5. So here are my 5.
Did the Buggles have a song?
The Buggles did not. They're a one-hit wonder, my friend. Number 5.
Boy Meets Girl must have.
Number 5, Every Kind of People by the late, great Robert Palmer. Number 4, Games People Play by the Spinners. Number 3, same with you, Shiny Happy People, REM. Number 2, same as you, Everyday People, Sly and the Family Stone. And here's my number 1.
I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way. I've seen all good people turn their heads each day, so satisfied I'm on my way.
Why does the music sound like it's a mile away?
It does, doesn't it? I thought it was my earphones.
Take a straight and stronger course to the corner of your life. Make the White Queen run
It is, of course, I've Seen All Good People by Yes, which was on your list, but not number one.
Because he didn't agree with it. He has not seen All Good
I have
People.
not seen All Good People.
Well,
Which is fair, very fair.
3 of the 5 we agreed upon on our lists. Anderson's voice is unbelievable. And Steve Howe on the little guitar that he plays. Man, oh man, he's good. So, yeah. I've Seen All Good People, my number one.
This
Gabe?
was way too hard for me. You guys, this was a tough category for a young buck like myself. I really can't lie to you.
Is A$AP Rocky not singing
The
about
A$AP
people?
Rocky does not talk about people.
He's
We don't
not
have a
singing
lot. I
about
mean,
people. What's up
new
with
age
A$AP
songs.
Rocky?
There's not a lot of new songs with people or person
There's
in
really
the title.
There's not very many songs with person in the title at all.
But anyway, this was a huge struggle for me. I had to go and educate myself on music. My top 3 were sort of understood, but at 5 I have Everyday People by Sly and the Family Stone. I had to educate myself. That was a
Great
nice little
song.
throwback.
See, that's good education for you, though. That's education.
This
worth
is what
it
it's
right
for.
there.
It was just for me. This category was for me. 4, People Are Strange, The Doors. 3, and this one I originally wanted to have at number 1, but my number 1 is just one of my favorite songs of all time. So People Get Ready by Curtis Mayfield.
Good song.
I'm sad you guys didn't have it on your list. Interesting.
It was down to my final few.
2, Ordinary People by Van Morrison. And number 1.
Let them all pass all their dirty remarks. One love. There is one question I'd really love to ask. One heart. Is there a place for the hopeless sinners who has hurt all mankind? Just to save his soul, believe. One love.
One Love, People Get Ready by Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Good choice. Good choice.
Another good song.
Very good choice. So, Gabe, did this educate you both? Were you familiar with People Are Strange before this?
To
That
be
song?
completely honest, no. No,
Well,
and I know that's a pretty popular
Well,
song.
this was very good education. If you educated yourself on Everyday People and People Are Strange, this was a worthwhile project for you. You discovered 2 great songs.
I guess so. And I listened to several more. Like it was those weren't the only 2 I listened to.
You had a good choice at number 1, though. Cannot argue with your number 1. Very, very good. Anytime you're going Bob Marley, I'm willing to accept that. Let's see here. Starting on Facebook, John has People Are Strange, Everyday People, Every Kind of People by Joe Cocker, People Get Ready by Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck, and Lonely People by America.
Gosh, I forgot about Lonely People. Another good one.
That's the problem. Everybody forgets about the lonely people. That's why they're lonely. Carolyn has People Get Ready by The Impressions, People by Barbara Streisand, People of the Sun by Rage Against the Machine, People I've Seen Sad by Christine and the Queens, and People Help the People by Birdie.
Man, she is. I love her list because there are people I've never heard of, and then she goes from Barbara Streisand to Rage Against the Machine. Wow, that's diversity.
That is. Bobby on Facebook. These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot about this song. Purple People Eater by Sheb Woolley. I can't believe I forgot about Purple People
I remember,
Eater.
yeah.
I didn't even think about that one. People and Places by Journey. Every Kind of People, Joe Cocker. And People Are Crazy, Billy Currington. That's also an accurate statement. Number 5, Billy on Facebook. Number 5, Ordinary People, Clay Walker. Number 4, These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. Number 3, Ordinary People by John Legend. A lot of people have done Ordinary People. Number 2, Two People Fell in Love by Brad Paisley. And number 1, People Are Crazy by Billy Currington. With an honorable mention to the Beautiful People, Marilyn Manson. So Billy Currington to Marilyn Manson. That's pretty good little switcheroo for you there, too. Ray in Cordova, number 5, Beautiful People, Ed Sheeran. Number 4, People Are People, Depeche Mode. Number 3, Everyday People. Number 2, Lonely People. And number 1, Shower the People, James Taylor.
Good one.
That was one that would have probably been number 6 on my list. That was really close to being in my top 5. Bobby in Midtown. Number 5, We Are the People by Jimmy Buffett. Number 4, I've Seen All Good People. Number 3, People Get Ready, version by Rod Stewart and Jeff Beck. 2, People by Tommy Bolin. And number 1, One Love, People Get Ready, Bob Marley. So Bobby agrees with Gabe. Jason on the First Bank text line, 67129. Wonderful World, Beautiful People, Jimmy Cliff. Number 4, We Are the People Our Parents Warned Us About, Jimmy Buffett. I've never heard that.
I never heard that one either.
Number 3, I've Seen All Good People. Number 2, People Are Strange. And number 1, One Love, People Get Ready. So a couple of folks agreeing with Gabe's number 1.
Smart ones. Smart
Yes.
people.
Smart People. Was that a song too? Who sang Smart People? Let's see.
There's Short People by Randy Newman.
Zed as Blue Monday People, Curtis Mayfield. Lonely People. We the People Are Darker Than Blue, Curtis Mayfield. Shower the People. And People Get Ready. So he has 3 Curtis Mayfield songs in his top 5. Says, I want to thank you for helping me discover Curtis Mayfield. His songs are comfort in these trying times.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's part of what this segment does. It introduces people to new music.
Let me say this too. Every Kind of People by Robert Palmer, something that can be played today as meaningful. In fact, Gabe, I want you to cue that one up. We're going to listen to that a little bit because it's perfect for the times right now. Nobody has mentioned that song other than me.
Let's see. Nico comes with number 5, Everyday People. Number 4, People Every Day by Arrested Development. Number 3, People Are Strange. Number 2, The Purple People Eater. And number 1, Purple People Christmas in Space by Tori Amos. She makes her triumphant return at number 1.
Wait, there's 2 Purple People songs?
And you said Every Kind of People by Robert Palmer?
Yes.
Palmer?
There's the Purple People Eater, and then this one is Purple People Christmas in Space.
Yeah, so
Amos, I don't know.
A couple of Purple People songs.
I figured that Nico, being a Vikings fan, I thought he would have the Purple People Eater at number 1.
Oh, he's a Vikings fan. Okay, makes a lot of sense now.
But he went Purple People with Tori Amos. I understand putting Tori Amos ahead of Purple People Eater because he's such a big Tori fan. But certainly I thought with a Vikings fan, the Purple People Eater would be up there. I'm really mad that I forgot about Purple People Eater.
Would it have made your list?
It would certainly at least been an honorable mention. Tim comes with People of the South Wind by Kansas.
Yeah, I love that song. And in fact, it made it for another list that we had where we had like directions or something. And it made my list.
Short People, Randy Newman.
Mm-hmm.
People Are People, Depeche Mode. People Are Strange. And number 1, Games People Play by the Alan Parsons Project.
Okay, the different one than the Spinners I use. But that's a good one, too.
Somebody says Up With People. That's all they say. That's it. Just one song.
Wasn't that a group, like a musical group?
Oh, I don't know.
In the 70s, Up With People? Well, I got to look that up.
Number 1, Games People Play, Alan Parsons. Number 2, People and Places Journey. Number 3, People of the South Wind. Number 4, I've Seen All Good People. And number 5, People Are Strange.
Up With People is a nonprofit organization that uses a 5-month program involving travel, the performing arts, volunteering, and various workshops focused around intercultural communication to teach young adults how to interact in a multicultural environment and create change in communities with varying needs. I'm not saying that that's what the person was referencing to. There could be a song, Up With People, but that's the Up With People organization.
Number 5, another list here. These Are My People, Rodney Atkins. Number 4, Everyday People. Number 3, I've Seen All Good People. Number 2, Two People Fell in Love. And number 1, Shower the People. So James Taylor getting some love. Shower the People
great.
is a good song. I really did want to. That was really, really close to my top 5. I do like that song a lot.
Yeah, I had the Depeche Mode song in there, and obviously I had People Are Strange, but the Shower the People is the one I'm disappointed. I really forgot about that one. Just completely forgot about that one. Any more?
Up With People is a song by Up With the People, it looks like. It's very confusing.
Yeah. Well, a lot of Up With People going on.
There are a lot of people that are up and going up.
A lot of people that are high, I know that. But apparently they're up too.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I see as some video here with Up With People by Up With the People, 1976.
Yeah, that's the
and the collar on the guy's shirt would tell you that it is definitely 1970 something.
Yeah, that's the period of Up With People that I remember. What's our category for tomorrow?
For tomorrow, we did home last week. Tomorrow we will do house.
So we did home. I forget who had that. I don't know if it was me or you, but we didn't have any variation of house, right, during that. Oh, I think I even asked you that. You said, no, it's just going to be home. So we'll do house tomorrow, and I got a couple of really good ones coming up for later in the week. All right, so here's the song. I want you to listen to this song as we head to the timeout. This is Every Kind of People, Robert Palmer, and very meaningful.
Keeps a man up on his feet, holding down his job, trying to show he can't be bought. Who takes every kind of people to make what life's about, yeah. Every kind of people to make the world go round. Someone's looking for a lead. It is duty to a king or to a queen, protecting what he feels is right, fights against wrong with his life. There's no profit in deceit. Honest men know that revenge does not taste sweet. Whether yellow, black, or white, each and every man's the same inside. Who takes every kind of people?
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-03.
Down in Orlando. The bubble is, of course, the NBA's bubble. The bubble is the WNBA's version of the bubble. They both have bubbles, separate parts of Orlando. Well, there is no such thing as a vubble, CJ.
What's that?
Well, that would be a volleyball bubble.
Okay.
Except there is no such thing on this. And so what is happening while all of this is going on, while the NBA and WNBA and MLS are taking precautions of all sorts, down in Orlando today, now again, this is Orlando in Florida, where they have more cases, almost actually double the cases of the entire UK and Europe. Let me just repeat that. Florida has double the cases of the UK and Europe combined, and 8% of the cases in the world happen to be in Florida. So if you're going to be down there, you better take precautions, right? Wrong.
Oh.
How about we start a 9-day amateur AAU volleyball tournament for preteens and teenagers? That starts today. That's going to draw 17,000 people to the Orlando Orange County Convention Center. Woo! You think they're quarantining? Nope. Now, fun fact: do you think that the health officer for the Florida Health Department there in Orange County? Do you think that that this person has checked out the plans for the tournament?
Nope.
He hasn't. Not a bit. Why would the Florida Health Department guy want to look at the plans for a volleyball tournament involving a bunch of kids and families and stuff traveling from all over the country down into the epicenter of the coronavirus epidemic to hang out in an enclosed convention center? What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
I mean, this is just beyond belief.
Is it?
Beyond belief.
Is it?
It is. This really is.
This is unbelievable. You
Yes.
can't believe that people would be willing. You can't believe that 17,000 people would be willing to travel to Florida, the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic right now, and play in a youth volleyball tournament.
No. That I can